Hello, everyone, and welcome to WinCat Sports. We are now going to start weekly reviews on the Tigers. They've been doing well so far this year, very much surpassing expectations, I would say. Between the two of us, we both probably can agree on that.
Yes.
Surpassing the expectations. Currently, right this week, they won 4 out of the 7 games. So they won both their series against Kansas City and Chicago, walking it off today, right? And giving us a little bit of a chance at the division going into next month. We are currently only a game back in the division. Minnesota currently does have 2 wins on us, but we have the same amount of losses. So if they lose the game, I think we're going to hop up into the chance at being number one in the division, which is very surprising to say the least.
Yes. Thank God we play in the division we play in. But even so, I mean, they've been fun to watch. You're getting to see um, the maturation of certain players. Riley Green is becoming a force. Torkelson had such an awful start, had an awful year last year. It's so good to see that guy, start to blossom. I mean, he's great. I mean, he's really played well. And after the benching, Baez has been playing fantastic.
Fantastic.
These guys, along with McKinstry, along with everybody. I mean, really, there isn't anybody on this team, even somebody like Matan, who has not got the best bat in the world. I can't complain really right at the moment. Um, they just seem to have a lot of fun out there. They seem to enjoy going out every day, play hard for their AJ Hinch, who is doing a masterful job just shuffling players in when he needs to.
Yes.
Guys like Zach Short are contributing. Their pitching has not been bad. I mean,
it could be better.
It could be better, but I mean, it really. A lot of these guys I barely knew.
Yes.
Michael Lorenzen. I mean, that guy has been great.
Yes, he's supposed to be able to hit too.
Guy, I don't know, journeyman or whatever he is. I don't know where he comes from.
He played for the Reds for a long time. He played with the Angels for 1 year last year, and then he's with us this year. He used to hit. He was a decent hitter. They just didn't let him hit in LA, so he was hoping when he came here he could hit the ball a little bit, but we haven't gotten him to do that yet. But through this month,
I mean, I love. Maybe that's a strong word, but I mean, I've been having a lot of fun watching the Tigers play.
We actually started paying to watch them again.
Right. I mean, I could honestly tell you, I probably watched
more baseball,
a dozen games the whole season last year. I barely.
And we've been watching them every single day.
Yep. So we've been keeping track of them, and it's been fun.
So yeah, looking at the month, so we'll do a little bit of a month review at the same time as a weekly review. Right? They started the month out. They swept the Mets, who were supposed to be good this year, and we swept the Mets. So that started out the month well. You went into St. Louis. You won 2 out of 3 there. You ended that series getting walloped a little bit with a 12-6 loss, but you won that series pretty handily. Then you went into Cleveland. You won 2 out of 3 there. You won that series. And then you went and faced Seattle. Seattle won their series. We've usually had a tough
always had trouble with that team, no matter, even when they sucked and we were good. It seemed to always be hard to beat that team. But I don't know.
Coming off of that, we split with the Pirates. We had a 2-game set. They won one day, and then we won the other one. Then we faced Washington, and we won that series. Then we went to KC, and we won that one.
Right.
And then we went to the White Sox, and we won that series, and now we're facing. So you're doing what I even told you earlier. If the Tigers are going to do anything this year involving being more interesting, going for the first place spot in the division, and maybe getting a playoff series to play in, whether it's a wild card or not, you have to win your series. You don't even need to go on streaks. If you win your series, you're going to be good.
I disagree there. I think
you should.
You need to go on a few 3,
here and there
4-game win streaks. Then you're going to have your 2 or 3 game losing streaks, but you have to have more winning streaks during that thing. And I understand what you're saying. I mean, if they can win this series against Texas, we're going to be 500. 500 at the end of May. Yep. Who would not have taken that?
In fact, actually, if you
year? I certainly thought this team was a 100 loss.
Yes.
team.
They already reached
I
half
would
the
have
total
bet
of what I thought their loss was going to be.
$1,000 that they would lose 100 games. I was so sure.
Yes.
So it just goes to show you. You get good coaching. You get good. This Harris guy seems to know what he's doing.
Yep.
We're trying out. We're seeing what we were at. This is an evaluation year for the most part.
Yeah.
Just to kind of check out and see who's worth keeping.
And it's doing well.
Right.
It's doing well.
Now, Rodriguez is starting to worry me. I don't, and he's not. He's dropping off. I mean, I guess it's impossible to expect him to keep up that pace all season.
Yep.
But he's had a few rough outings.
And that's where the question comes:
several.
Should you trade him? Right? Are we going?
I
do a whole video.
I really don't
later
care
because
I guess that's the plan.
If he does well by the deadline and someone wants him and you could trade him, why not? If your young pitchers are ready, you get Skubal back, you get Mize back, you get
you ain't
back.
getting Mize back this year.
I don't think you are, but you get Trumbo.
Is Skubal close to coming?
Yeah,
back?
He's been doing bullpen.
So okay,
batting practice.
He's been a really good pitcher.
If he comes back and he does well, Rodriguez could be on the way out here in Detroit, and you could get some draft picks or somebody somewhere else to help the team,
right?
Potentially, and it's going to be interesting.
I'm really impressed with how Hinch, he's using everybody.
We have I think we're the second highest team in the league on pitch hits.
Right.
We are rotating people in.
Everybody, and they've said that it's fun to watch. Again, it's fun to watch because you just never know who's going to be the guy that steps up. And these players like it. You could tell. I love that little tradition of wearing the Red Wing hat.
And they shoot out of that. They shoot
after a home run. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun. That's why we go down there.
And another thing I'll add, Mickey. I mean, for him making the amount of money, him just saying, you know what, let them play. When you want me in, I'll play. That is good leadership. He is being a great clubhouse guy, despite the fact that he is not having a good season whatsoever. He's batting below 200, but he's coming in when he has to. When they want him to play, he's playing. He stole a base in Kansas City. He stole third. Cosner, he got home base.
I will say that even though, yes, his best years are behind him for sure.
Yes.
If we get into a pennant race, and maybe that's crazy to say at this point, but considering the division we're in, if we're fighting for a pennant race in August, I think Miggy, the competitor in him, is going to come out, and he's going to dig deep down, and maybe
you give him one playoff series before he goes. Right. That would be great. That'd be fantastic.
You don't know.
And none of us expected that.
You just don't know. He might find it. Even if it's just for a month, he might find that hot streak. He might be able to. You ride it if he does.
Look at Pujols last year.
Right.
He hit 20-something home runs as a 42-year-old guy.
I think most of it is that the lack of competitiveness has sapped him. You look at Miggy, he's just this big kid. And he seems to be enjoying his last year. Well, I would be too if I'm making $30 million. But
you paid him for the other years. And
right.
That's what that comes down to.
Right.
You paid him for what he was, not what he was going to be.
He seems to be a good clubhouse. He is a good clubhouse guy. He's always been somebody who loves the game. He's a big kid. So if we can stay in this race up until about August, you might see him find it. He might find it. So, for at least a month or two. So just one last hurrah. You just never know about old war horses.
Yep. And looking at the week ahead, because why not, right? Tomorrow starts your series against the Rangers. They are 33-19 currently. If you can pull out a series win, like I said, we're at 500. That is fantastic. The Twins in the coming month aren't going to have as easy of a time. But when you go to the end of this week, you go back and face the White Sox again.
When do we play Minnesota?
We don't play Minnesota, so I'll go over that when we go over next month. So this week, we're going to be going through, right, the Rangers, right, the 3-game series, and then the White Sox, right? Those three, we have 3 games set against the White Sox, and we just beat the White Sox. So there's no reason we can't beat the White Sox again. We could very much, they are only 22-33. currently.
Right.
So you could win your series against the White Sox and hopefully win the series against the Rangers. If you can come out this week 500, you're golden. So you win three of the 6. I think that's a successful week.
Yep.
If you can win 4 of 6, even better.
Right.
That,
and they can.
And that would get you at 500. You'd be at 500. I think if you lose one series and then you win the other one, you're fine. But otherwise, if you can win both, you're at 500 for the first time and looking beyond 500 for the first time in a long time, for any of us can say.
And you don't know what that does to players. They, like I said, it's the atmosphere of just being around people you enjoy going to work with, you enjoy playing, going to battle with, and winning these games, doing anything you can. Um, it's that's what makes it all worthwhile. I mean, these guys, you could just see it in their faces and everything else. They come out like it's a little league game. I mean, they're like kids again, and they're going out there and giving everything they got, and that's all you really can ask.
Yeah.
And it makes it fun to watch.
And then looking at the month ahead, right after we face the White Sox, right, we face the Phillies. You have a 3-game set against the Phillies in Philadelphia. They have the same record as us, so no reason we couldn't potentially win that series. Then you're going to go to Arizona. They're 30-23 at the moment. They might be a little bit of a tough task. You're at home against Arizona, though, so you might be able to win that series. And then the Braves come to town. Again, another team with a winning record, 31-21 at the moment. And then you have our big series of that month. You have a 4-game set against Minnesota, currently 27-26. And that is where it's going to be dictating probably at that point whether or not you will have first place in the division or still be at second place.
Well, basically, up until the point that we play Minnesota, we just want to be like
winning
500 or a game below, and trying to go into that series.
You got to get halfway through the month of June.
It is going to be. We're playing a lot of good teams.
You're going to have to get halfway through the month of June, at least 500 to face the Twins. But then after the Twins, you're going to have a 3-game set against the Royals. And then you're going to have a 3-game set at home against the Twins. You have a 4-game set in Minnesota. And
then it should be fun. We got to try to survive the next couple of weeks.
And then you end the month with a 4-game set at Texas, and then a game in Colorado.
Right.
And then that ends the month of June. And if you can get through that month 500, or at least near 500, it's going to be a fun team to watch. Right? The people are showing up at the ballpark for once again.
June's a pivotal month.
So hopefully, right, we have a good month. Let's go Tigers, right? People are showing up at the ballpark. It looks great. Happy to see that, right? Same thing when the Red Wings were doing good. We saw people in the stands. It helps.
Right. It does. It brings the city together.
And you're not going to hear that we don't have fans.
Bars and making money and these, that's what we want. We want this vibrant city. And sports does that.
Yes. And with that being said, right, hopefully the Tigers do well in the next upcoming month and for the rest of the year. But like, comment, subscribe, share the video, all that fun stuff. And until next time, we'll see everybody soon.